Hi, my name's Paul Howarth from Pansensic, CEO and founder. I want to talk to you today about how we can help you to avoid the AI hype. Back here at Pansensic, we take unstructured text, we tag that text with all sorts of things. That allows us to structure the text. From there, we can create metrics and find insights to help you and your organization improve or innovate your products, your services, your organizations and your culture and your marketing. Only when you improve something do you really extract the value from text. This short video is to help you avoid the AI hype. We're going to cover some due diligence and some technology. The industry, the text analytics industry, is growing at a very huge rate, and that is because of the increase in the volume of unstructured data in the world. The wisdom evolution trend at the bottom of the page has kind of changed a bit recently because we can't yet move knowledge to wisdom with a computer. But what we can do is we can insert a new box called insights, which is a better understanding of the knowledge. And that's what the industry is doing. It's trying to distill all that data information into knowledge and insights. There is so much data in and around our businesses these days. We tend to be a little bit overwhelmed with it. But some of this data is much poorer and untrustworthy than others. We tend to focus on analysing social media, and yet of all the data we analyse is probably the poorest data we get. And some of it just goes off piece very quickly. The clue in that is social media, people having a start talking about a particular hashtag topic, for instance, but then they can go off piece very quickly. Poor surveys, we see a lot of poor surveys, very few words in the comments and hardly any emotion. We know if there's no emotion in a survey response, then that customer is not engaged in that question. And if customers aren't engaged, no matter what you do, you're not going to pull a valuable insight out of that data. In the middle of the data matrix, we have product reviews. These can be very rich. You have to watch out for the fakes, but typically a much longer comment with emotion in them, where people are much more engaged because they want to tell you their story of their product or their experience. Right in the top right corner, we have some continuous listening applications that are giving us really quality data. Chatbots, where there's an actual conversation going on between an employee and a customer. Call center transcriptions, and of course we have those complaints, which, one can be anecdotal, but lots of complaints saying a thing really important. Of course, we can analyse email traffic, not so much in this country because of GDPR, but it can be very, very rich, but it takes a lot of cleaning up. So no matter what you're doing, if you are trying to solicit something from a customer, your data will not be as rich and trustworthy as if you provoke it or elicit those comments. So AI hype, Gartner have nailed it really well. In the text analytics world, the two things that are circled are are machine learning and NLP. And they say that it's 5 to 10 years before they reach the plateau of productivity. There are, however, some companies like Pansensic that use a hybrid. So that is machine learning, natural language process, and another technology. And they may well be further along the slope of enlightenment. But it's well known throughout the industry with the experts that there is a lot of hype when it comes to artificial intelligence. Indeed, Alphabet and Facebook between them employ 30,000 people to read and categorize Facebook and YouTube posts to teach the machine. So the machine needs a huge amount of annotated data to learn. And you know, the machine is great over numbers, but it's not great over text. So as part of your due diligence, you have to ascertain how your prospective provider teaches the machine, because the machine does not understand the meaning and context of words. So your first job is to understand how they do that. So feedback matters. We've been working with feedback for years, and the quantitative survey has moved on a bit, but it's coming to a bit of an end, because these days people put their feedback on the internet, and there is mountains of this feedback on the internet. And the introduction of AI, natural language processing, machine learning in particular, have allowed us to start to make sense of some of this data. So sentiment analysis being the one that most people will be familiar with, and now people are actually creating themes and running sentiment over the top of that. If we impose the Gartner's peak hype cycle over the innovation S-curve, we see that peak hype aligns with the birth of a new innovation. And then we're straight into the trough of disillusionment before we start growing and creating products. But what's happening in the industry is at peak hype, and the hype they are talking about is actionable insights. I don't think it's actionable insights. I think it's just actionable information. And we have to be very careful we don't get disillusioned with this promise of an actionable insight when actually it's just information and more information that is swamping your organization. To mitigate this, you need to understand what the attributes of an actionable insight are, bearing in mind that an insight is an accurate and a deep understanding of something. So an actual insight must be novel. If it's not novel, you already know it, so it's not much of an insight. It has to be relevant to your business goals, your business objectives, and the question. It has to give you an advantage. Why you'd action something if it doesn't give you an advantage. The data that it is derived from must be trustworthy, otherwise it will give you false insights. The methodology to distill that data into an insight must be accurate. The next bit is we need a big picture understanding as well as a granular understanding. The two go together. You don't understand something unless you have both the big picture and a granular understanding. So there's your due diligence when somebody comes along, say, we can produce automatic actionable insights. Run it over that checklist. The next aspect of your due diligence is understanding the value in text data. And for me, nobody puts this better than Peter Drucker. Innovation and marketing are two most important functions of a business. All others are cost. So interest in information doesn't really have much value in it. Metrics and trends has a little more value in it. But it's not until you move into improvement insights and marketing insights that you start to really extract the value from this data. And you'll see that I've called it innovation clues. You don't get insights at innovation level, you just get lots of clues. Insights is a clear understanding of something. Innovation is much, much more complex. So how Pansensic get around the technology is that we have keywords and phrases, but these are wrapped in lots and lots of rules. Each bag of keywords belongs to an ontology, and it's this whole area that is at the heart of our technology. We then leverage that technology with natural language processing and machine learning, and not the other way around. To teach the machine meaning, Pansensic have 4 ontologies: patient experience, consumer experience, employee experience, and society analytics. That's 4 ontologies, over 100 lenses, 500 themes, 100,000 keywords and phrases, which give us millions of keywords and key phrase permutations. That's how we teach the machine meaning. How we teach the machine context is we have every keyword has a set of rules or conditionalities. This particular keyword has 237. I've grayed them out because that is our IP. Okay, so that's how we teach the machine context. So if someone says it's not a problem, one of our rules will make sure that that doesn't get hit. To extract value, what Pansensic has and focuses on is the top of the pyramid. We use psychometric lenses, metaphor lenses. We have a contradiction finder to find things where people say, I love your product, but they always point to something really interesting then. Emotion analytics. We have generic improvement lenses that work across all 4 ontologies, and domain-specific improvement lenses which work across ontologies and within categories within an ontology. That's how we extract value. Thank you. I hope you found that interesting. Please don't hesitate to give us a call should you want to know more or should you want to engage with Pansensic. And I hope you take a little bit of time out to look at our emotion analytics video. Thank you.